Welcome to the Over 40 Alpha Podcast with your host, Funk Roberts.
We are live, and welcome to the Over 40 Alpha Podcast. This is episode number 113. I'm your host, Funk Roberts, former professional athlete turned online fitness expert, specifically for men in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to get rid of belly fat. You know, that stubborn belly fat, whether it's a little bit of fat you need to get rid of that lasts a little bit of fat, or whether it's the beer belly or dad bod that you got to get rid of, whether you're skinny fat or whether you're obese, have that big belly. It is difficult, 100%, specifically as we get older, but there is a solution. And when you follow this solution, you will get rid of that belly fat, but you have to be patient. And in today's episode is from a coaching call that I did, internal coaching call with my Over 40 Alpha brothers in the Over 40 Alpha Brotherhood workout nutrition program, which you can join for $1 by going to over40alpha.com if you do need a full program, workouts, nutrition, recovery, sleep tips, supplementation, and coaching. But I needed to make this live into a podcast because we also did a survey. And what do you think the number one struggle that most men over the age of 40 have when it comes to health and fitness? Getting rid of the belly fat. That was astronomically number one. And so today I'm going to take you into the coaching call. So it is a live coaching call, but I'm going to give you the solution. The solution, everything you need to know that you can literally start putting into play right away on how to get rid of belly fat. I'm here for you. And I know that struggles because I've had those struggles. And you will hear about that in this call, in this podcast episode. So I'm excited. If you are having problems getting rid of belly fat, if you are having problems getting rid of that last bit of stubborn fat, then buckle up, brother, because I'm here for you. And again, if you need a program, specifically, a complete program that's specifically designed for men over 40, not just any old random program, workouts designed for men over 40, nutrition to help optimize your testosterone, boost your metabolism, help you get rid of that belly fat, and also balance your hormones and give you optimal health and energy. If you need recovery, like mobility routines, yoga routines, if you need monthly coaching, twice a month coaching, if you need the community, a support of thousands and thousands of men over 40, just like you in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, who are transforming their lives, who are on the same journey as you, who can keep you accountable, who do not judge, who support you, who motivate you, who inspire you, go to over40alpha.com for $1. The first 30 days, I'm going to help kickstart your weight loss, and I'm going to help implement a lifestyle that you can use for the rest of your life. Go to over40alpha.com, $1, and it's all yours. But right now, buckle up because I'm going to teach you how to lose that belly fat. I'm going to give you the belly fat solution. Enjoy the podcast. Listen up, my brother. If you're over the age of 40, 50, 60, or beyond, and your six-pack is actually looking like a party-sized keg, then I've got a solution for you. You see, my Over 40 Alpha workout, nutrition, and brotherhood program is the only program on the planet where the word dad bod is like a 4-letter word. See, we're not just a program. We're a worldwide movement of over 16,000 men just like you. And when I say just like you, I mean guys who still feel like they're 25 in their heads, but their bodies keep asking, are you sure about that? See, I created this program specifically for men in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond to help burn belly fat, to help build muscle, to help improve strength, to help boost energy, to help boost that libido, and also naturally increase your testosterone levels. But aside from that, this program is also helping you regain your manhood, improve your fitness, and get you into the best health you've ever been. And with a Trustpilot score of 4.9, we're obviously doing something right. This program's got over 36 phases. That's 3 years of progressive programming. Imagine that. You have a university-like program specifically designed for men in their 40s, 50s, 60s, just like you, that's going to help you get those results. No more wrestling with the pickle jar. No more trying to figure out what workouts to do and what program to use and stopping and starting. No more second guessing. because not only am I going to give you follow along workouts where you're going to train right beside me. Listen, we're going to sweat together. I'm going to motivate you. I'm going to guide you. And together we're going to get you in the best shape of your life. But I'm also going to hook you up with a nutrition plan specifically designed for men to help you increase your testosterone, fuel your body with the foods that will help you get in the best shape and health of your life. But also, I'll tell you when to eat, I'll tell you what to eat, and I'll tell you how much to eat, and I'll tell you the foods to stay away from. I know it sounds a little bit overwhelming, but just think about this. You're not going to have any more second guessing whether a whole pizza actually counts as one serving. Am I going to tell you a spoiler alert? It doesn't. Anyways, I'm also going to throw recovery routines like yoga and mobility because let's face it, as we get older, as we age, getting out of bed unassisted counts as a win. Plus, I'm going to share sleep tips just to help you master the art of not snoring like a freight train and getting those 7 to 9 hours you need on a daily basis. Now, here's the cherry on top of this program. The powerful thing of this program, the Alpha Brotherhood. There's no politics, there's no religion, there's no pop culture, there's no judgment, just thousands of guys in our private Facebook group from all over the world cheering you on, helping you, guiding you, and motivating you, even while you do your birthday burpees in your living room. That's right. We actually have birthday burpees that people do on their birthday. But seriously though, listen, brother, you've been put on this earth to provide, to protect, and to procreate. And you can't do it if you're not in the best health of your life. You can't do it if your biggest exercise is lifting the remote. You have to focus on your health and your fitness for yourself, for your families, and for the people around you. So if you're ready to finally get in shape, then head over to over40alpha.com and your journey is going to start for just $1 for the first 30 days. Yes, you heard that right. All you have to pay is $1 and you will have access to the entire program for just 30 days. You'll get that fat loss shred phase where you'll get follow along workouts. You'll also get live coaching 2 times a month with the Funkster and all the other brothers. You'll get access to the private Facebook group and you'll get everything you need to get in the best shape of your life. And listen, after 30 days, if you don't like this program, you didn't get in the best shape, you can ask for a refund and we're clear. But I guarantee you, you are going to love this program. Go to over40alpha.com. Start today for just $1 for 30 days. There's no hidden fees, just $1. Give me that $1, give me 30 days, and I'm going to get you on your way to being in the best shape of your life. Go to over40alpha.com, over40alpha.com, sign up for $1, and I'll see you on the other side. Enjoy the podcast. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our June 4th monthly coaching call. I'm excited that you guys are here. Today, we're going to talk about belly fat. We're going to talk about how to lose belly fat. We're going to talk about, the importance of it. We're gonna talk about the myths. We're gonna talk about mistakes that most people make. We're gonna talk about effective strategies, but we're gonna start off with the importance of losing this belly fat, and and what it does for us if we do continue to harbor it. Like, you know what I mean? It'll make sense when I get to it. But first, I just want to. So we're going to talk about that. Then, obviously, any questions that you guys have, I'll do a live Q&A. I'll try to get this down to an hour in a bit because I want to respect your time. But it's great to see you all. Great to see Rick, John H, Chef Marcus, John, Rob, Andre, Travis, Ben. We got Vincent, Brandon, Willie G, Andy, Cecil, Philippe. Who else we got here? Johan, Ed, what's up? Dwayne, Bro Carl, Brogan, Roberto, Jay, Ray, Josh, Object Soul, John. We have Nathan, Cedric, George, Adam, and all of you who are watching this replay. Thank you so much. And welcome to our, welcome to the coaching call. If I do swear though, ladies, please cover the ears. If I do swear, this is an adult show. So sometimes I get a little bit passionate. And Uncle Funk does swear sometimes, so I do apologize, and apologize right from the beginning. But yeah, let's talk about a topic that a lot of guys, a lot of us have. I say us, but a lot of men find it difficult to tackle the stubborn belly fat, the midsection. In fact, I did a survey. Thanks for those of you who have took that survey. I'll be sending something out this week for your time. But the astounding, well, two things. Number one, nutrition was number one, probably still getting things in, and of course, belly fat, how to lose the belly fat. And yeah, I mean, it is difficult to lose belly fat. It's stubborn. It's actually not difficult. In fact, you know what? I'm going to back up here. We're going to start this off with real talk. We're going to start this off with real talk. Okay. And I know a lot of you guys, not here specifically, but a lot of men don't want to hear what I'm about to say, but you got to hear it because, it means what I'm about to say means that if you want to truly lose belly fat, that means you have to make drastic changes to your nutrition, the food you eat and stay away from, your workouts, and your lifestyle. And it also means you have to commit 100%. It also means you have to stay consistent. It also means you have to check your ego at the door. You don't know any better because you've tried this so many times, it doesn't work. So whenever you hear or whatever you read, probably not going to work. So you got to kind of take yourself out of the game and just follow instructions. But most importantly, just staying consistent, right? Because, things like getting rid of sugar, getting rid of processed foods, things like engaging in more metabolic resistance training, having a why, and understanding that it's going to take like 6 months of focused eating, consistent workouts, the focus on your change in lifestyle. And it's really that simple because a lot of times you guys want that magic workout, or guys want that secret nutrition, or guys want this kind of like little shortcut. But there is no shortcuts to losing this. But it is the most important thing that you have to focus on as you're getting older to stay on top of. Do you need the 6-pack abs? No. But ensuring that you understand what really happens to your body, what belly fat actually is, how it's affecting your health and affecting your body. And truly just, if you are 100% serious, that's what it is. It's just consistency. I'm right now in that mode. I'm in the 100% workouts, nutrition, consistency mode. In fact, I've been doing it for the last three and a bit months. And I still figure in my mind that it's going to take another 3 months. And it's just like that. That's all it is. And yes, it takes a long time. I still have, the subcutaneous fat here that it's not like 2 years ago or last year, right? It's like, okay, man, I'm really seeing this. It's really a little bit more difficult this year. Why? Because some of the lifestyle things that I'm doing that are happening in my life are affecting it, right? Which we're going to get to. But I also know that there is no magic pill. Like if you've been struggling all this time with belly fat, you have to literally say, okay, do I really want to get rid of this belly fat? Because if I do, 100%, man, I'm in 100%. I'm in for at least 6 months, because it may happen before the 6 months, which would be great. But if you have a focus, okay, 6 months, like for instance, when I went to school, I'm in it for 4 months. That's it. Like there's no missing classes. There's no anything. It just, we all have done it. We all know how to stay focused on something and give it 100%. We all know how to sacrifice things that we need to sacrifice. We all know this, but are you willing to do it? That's really what it is. Like there's no, like, are you in or in the way? And being in means almost your entire life has to be circled around that goal. Right? Like you have to plan your workouts, you have to plan your nutrition, you have to make foods, you have to literally be planning on all of these things around this goal of getting rid of that belly fat. But so that's the magic pill. But let's understand why not making excuses and being 100% committed is the most important thing, because as we age, our bodies go through that change. That does lead to easier weight gain, especially in our midsection, right? But again, we have control over how to get rid of it. We have control and again, Some people, it's not like some people are carrying excess belly fat, which is killing you. Some people are skinny fat, which we're going to talk about. Some people are just have that less, which is not generally bad, but for aesthetics, for our confidence, for the fact that we're working hard and we want to see those results, that's also plays with our mind sometimes. It's like, man, I'm working so hard. Why is this not working? So we'll talk about that. So why is it so important to focus on belly fat? So let's talk about the dangers of carrying belly fat. Okay. Because fat may seem harmless, specifically in society. Oh, the dad bod's okay. Oh, guys tend to have more belly fat, which is bullshit. Oh, it's harder for men. Sorry, ladies. Well, it's harder for men to lose belly fat, which is baloney. It's actually easier for us to lose belly fat than women because we have more muscle and we have the ability to be more metabolic. So all of everything that you hear and read and all of those other things is not necessarily true, right? But we got to go a little bit deeper. So first, not all belly fat's equal. So I did say that there's that subcutaneous fat, which is the fat that you can pinch, right? That pinching an inch, pinch around, but that's subcutaneous. And then there's visceral fat. Visceral fat, subcutaneous fat is the fat that it lays underneath the skin. So that's why you can pinch it. But visceral fat, that is the killer fat. That's the fat that's stored deeper inside of our abdomen. It surrounds our organs and it's like active fat. It literally affects everything. It affects all of our health. So for instance, let's take the fat that what fat does to your liver. When you have excess fat, we know how important our liver is. Our liver works to transform fat, right? Transform this fat. But if you have too much visceral fat, it becomes bad cholesterol, right? Which is not good. We all know what bad cholesterol does to the arteries. It turns it into plaque, carries it through the blood, sticks to your arteries, sticks to your heart. Plaque constricts the amount of blood that gets to it. Then you end up having heart attacks and sometimes strokes, depending on where that blood is. That's one thing high visceral fat has. Right? High visceral fat's also linked to heart disease, linked to bad cholesterol, linked to blood pressure, bad blood pressure, high blood pressure. Visceral fat also affects your insulin level. So visceral fat will make your body less sensitive to insulin, which is a hormone that regulates our blood sugar levels. So when you become insulin resistant, your cells, your muscles, fat, your liver doesn't respond to insulin. What happens is it takes up all that glucose to your blood, throws it to the pancreas and your insulin, and you become insulin resistant, which you do not want. Fat going to cause glucose into your cells is going to cause more health concerns, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, all those. Visceral fat affects your hormones. So belly fat. So if you think about belly fat, it's metabolically active. I talked about that fat. I mean, it's active, meaning it produces hormones that influence your body's function. So one of the hormones that it produces, too much belly fat produces resistin, which leads to insulin resistance. We want that. Another thing that visceral fat creates is a protein called retinol binding protein 4, which causes inflammation in our body. So if you're always inflamed, we know, again, inflammations, this all can stem from having too much visceral fat, too much belly fat. Cancer. Excess belly fat it links to certain types of cancer. Inflammation caused by visceral fat can produce growth in cancer cells. And there's been studies that have shown there is a relationship between belly fat and colorectal cancer, and cancer in the pancreas, and cancer in the esophagus. So, I mean, there's a host of other diseases, but it's not just health and diseases that are linked to visceral fat, because it can impact too much belly fat can impact your mobility, can impact your ability to exercise. It can impact your life, right? It can impact your life. It can impact how you feel about yourself, erectile dysfunction, depression. So all of these things, sleep. So a lot of times, if you have sleep apnea or you have sleep problems, or people who have sleep, if you know people who have sleep apnea or sleep problem, and they're carrying excess belly fat, that is a telltale sign that may be linked to why they are having a very difficult time sleeping. So a lot of this is, a lot of this is what happened. Obesity is something that's happening um more and more, specifically for us men. It's something that's pushed aside. But when you understand that, man, carrying a lot of visceral fat might sound scary. And again, I don't want to be, oh my God, I'm alarmist to say, but when you understand and know why you have certain things, like, it's very important for you to know what carrying extra visceral fat does to your body. Like, you need to know what that does. Because once you understand, okay, this is why Funk keeps telling me that I have to eat, that we should be eating this way. We should be focusing on our testosterone, our hormones. We should be doing this. We should do it. I understand that now or if I have a cousin or a brother or a father or whomever who's suffering from something like this, and all of a sudden, man, how did that person have a heart attack? He seemed to be healthy, right? Or, I just saw that person yesterday, or he's only 44, but it could be caused by a lot of this stuff that we do have the ability to fix. We have control over this. We can control the way we look 100%. So that's number one. So again, understanding the dangers of carrying belly fat and why it's so important to get rid of. Number two, let's go to the flip side, talk about the skinny fat phenomenon. Because this seems like it would be contradictory, say skinny fat. Like, how can somebody skinny also be fat? How can someone who is skinny have type 2 diabetes? Like, that doesn't make sense. Well, it actually makes a lot of sense, because there's a medical term for skinny fat. It's called metabolically obese normal weight. So MONW. And people who are skinny fat appear to be normal. They appear to be thin in size. You look at them, you're like, oh yeah, that's Jimmy. He freaking runs all the time. And that's Carl. Yeah, Carl, you're in pretty good shape, right? But they usually have a high proportion of fat compared to their lean muscle, which is why the other day I sent an email out saying muscle is the key to longevity. Why I keep harping on, we must be building muscle as we age. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Muscular is more metabolic. But someone who's generally skinny fat, and I'm not saying skinny fat meaning, well, actually I am. So hold on, let me back up. Someone who's generally skinny fat means their body composition is more like someone who's overweight, because they face the same, all of those risks that I just talked about. A person who is skinny fat, who's looks skinny, but actually has fat, has visceral fat, has that belly fat, have the exact same dangers, at the exact same risk. In fact, someone that we know just had a heart attack and they were skinny fat. Like, they, like that. That's the word I'm using in this case. Like, they didn't see, I knew that they were out of shape because they came to me and talked to me. So I already knew that this person was struggling with where they were at. The testosterone was low. They had no muscle, that sort of thing. So for me, it didn't surprise me that happened when they didn't take the advice. So you don't take it. It ends up, something has to happen. You have to hit that rock bottom. You don't have to hit the rock bottom of being out of shape. You don't have to have that health scare in order to change things. That's why I'm relaying these messages to you, so that you know that, okay, I can stay on top of this. So what are some of the factors that contribute to the skinny fat phenomenon? First thing is, it's poor dieting, poorly executed dieting cycles. Because most people who are skinny fat will focus on the scale. People who are always focusing on the scale, people are always talking about weight. Those are the people that's when you really have to think, okay, well, it's not about the scale, because this will lead them to unsustainable forms of dieting and exercise, right? Because you're only focusing on the scale. I've mentioned this million times. I'll mention it again. Although the person beside me, we were the same weight. I think he's more now. We were the exact same weight, 100 and I think when we did this, 185 pounds, same weight, same height, but I have more muscle and I was leaner and muscular, and he's overweight. He's big belly. He's very soft, but we weigh the same weight. It's about your body composition, not about the weight, because muscle is denser than fat. So muscle you always weigh more the more muscles you have, versus someone who is less muscular, and has more fat. Or you can weigh the same and look totally different. So when I mention unsustainable forms of dieting, it's the yo-yo diets. Okay, I'm going to try this plan. I'm going to try this. I'm going to do this for a while, and so I can get down to this weight. And usually these plans have maybe a bit of protein, many carbs, or maybe barely any calories. And it usually comes with excessive cardio, because generally speaking, most people who are focused on weight want to work out more, want to work out harder, want to work out longer, want to get that extra, okay, I gotta work out longer. I'm going to go, look, well, you know what? I did this workout today. Let me go for a run. And that's going to help with the weight. Because I see all these runners out there, and they're so skinny, right? Those runners, those long distance runners, marathon runners who are skinny and very weak, very brittle, don't have a lot of muscle on them, because they're sports specific. They're sports specific. So when you see runners who are out there and they're skinny, why are they very skinny? They are very weak, very skinny, and probably unhealthy when it comes down to it. Very unhealthy, because they're full, but it's a sport that they're doing. It's something that their body needs. Their muscle, they don't need a lot of muscle. They shouldn't have a lot of muscle, because muscle will take up the oxygen that runners need. So thinking that you're going to do that running or going on the treadmill or whatever, and generally have zero strength training. So what happens is the loss of weight, but the loss of precious muscle mass. And muscle, again, is calorically costly, which means the more muscle you have, the more metabolic you're going to be, the more calories you're going to burn just sitting here as we are sitting here talking to each other. If you have more muscle, you're going to burn more calories. It's muscle increases your metabolism, and that's like a glucose disposal site. So losing muscle makes dieting even harder. But once you stop that diet, once someone who's on these yo-yo diets, they stop that diet, sure, you're gonna be a smaller person, right? Which you're because you've been in such a caloric, your calories have been so low for so long, your body's kind of adjusted. But what happens is you're losing muscle, and then when you get back to eating and start eating again, start eating the same amount that you ate before the diet, okay, because we want to get back, then your body your body starts to become in a caloric surplus. So you've been dieting. I did this crazy cool diet for a month, and I lost my 10 pounds. But what happens when you start eating back again? Because those diets are not sustainable. So now you start eating again, and all of a sudden, boom, you're gaining more fat. And most times people who are doing these diets end up eating a lot more after. They end up binging, because their body has been asking for so many calories, that they start to binge again, and then they have a surplus. And as we get older, it may have worked for younger guys, but as we get older, our body is going to hold on to that fat in all the wrong places. So again, at this point, that person has more fat and less muscle, and then it's just the cycle just continues to repeat. Right. And again, as we age, we naturally lose muscle. So imagine going through sarcopenia, which is a natural loss of muscle due to aging. We're naturally losing muscle. We're not counterbalancing it with resistance training. We're not getting enough protein, because we're just focusing on the scale. We're just focusing on getting rid of the belly or getting rid of the fat, and not focusing on the most important thing, which is a sustainable, healthy body. physical inactivity. Some people go the opposite. Some people don't even do anything and go on these diets. And that's the same thing that's going to happen. You're going to get to a point where you're going to be skinny, you're going to have no muscle, and you're going to have a big belly or a belly. And that is going to put you at higher risk of insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, the list goes on. So either way, it's all about body composition when it comes down to if you are skinny. And once again, if you're skinny fat, but once again, there's good news because that's totally reversible when you add the certain things that we're going to talk about, which is good. So those are the two spectrums. And now we're going to talk about how hormones play a factor. Because once you know, okay, there's skinny fat, so just because so now I have to focus on muscle building because muscle is going to make me more metabolic, which is what we want. We want our bodies to be metabolic. This is all going to help with belly fat loss. More muscle you have, the more metabolic you are, the more calories you're going to burn. Okay. And we know that we need protein. We need, we'll get to that in a second, but where are hormones coming? Where are the hormones coming? So of course we got a complex body, but for us men, there's three main hormones that we have to focus on when it comes to belly fat. It's testosterone, it's cortisol, and it's estrogen. So, and not only does all of this help with our, so let's dive into those three. So let's start off with testosterone. You know, this whole thing is built on naturally helping you increase testosterone. And it's not just about me helping you increase testosterone, because the more testosterone you have, the more it helps maintain muscle, the more it helps maintain bone density, the more it helps your sex drive, the more it helps you lose belly fat, right? Because it's the more testosterone you have, the less of the one other hormone I'm going to talk about you'll have. So your focus is always increasing your T levels naturally. That is number one, because you know that you're going to be able to maintain muscle more, which burns more calories. You're going to be able to decrease belly fat and fat specifically around the abdomen. So your focus is always increasing your T levels. Because when your T levels are down, cortisol, which we'll talk about, and estrogen specifically will start to increase. Insulin sensitivity and insulin resistance will start to happen. So we really have to focus on our testosterone levels. Next up is cortisol. So cortisol is a stress hormone. I've mentioned this. We need cortisol. Cortisol is it's not bad. In fact, we need it. Like my cortisol levels are probably high right now because I need to be focused. It's our fight or flight. So there are going to be certain times throughout the day when we wake up, our cortisol levels are high. When we're training, when we're working out, our cortisol levels are high. Which is why you don't want to train for longer than 40, 50 minutes, because then it takes your cortisol levels longer to get back to normal levels. But yeah, so we do need it. We need them in certain times of the day, specifically earlier when we're doing something where we need to focus, but we also need to keep that stress hormone down, because chronic cortisol, when we're stressed about something, like right now, my cortisol levels are probably high. Not right this second, but in my life right now, because there's certain things going on. You know, working in a certification course for trainers and coaches, and it's got something happening around that cortisol levels are pretty high. You know, they're just like, oh my God, this isn't gonna work, whatever. So I have to really manage that by meditation, by breathing, by all of the things that I do to manage my stress, to manage my cortisol. In fact, I call it cortisol management, because that's what I'm doing. I'm managing my cortisol levels to keep them down, because high cortisol can make you crave a lot of sugar, a lot of salt, a lot of fatty foods, which all end up with abdominal fat. That's where all that fat that you're eating, all that food you're eating, ends up in your abdomen, right? And enlarges your fat cells. And cortisol, as I mentioned, if you have too much cortisol, will disrupt sleep, which makes sense, which is why before you go to sleep, you write down the 3 things that you need to do the next day. You also do a little bit of an inventory on where are you at? What's going on in my life right now? Right. That's why I talked about getting a Whoop and focusing on your HRV, your heart rate variability, because that will tell you, your heart rate variability will tell you what's happening in your life, literally. If it's going down, something's going on. It's usually cortisol. It's usually stress. It's usually something that is happening around you that can make you aware. Because a lot of times we're unaware that we have this chronic stress. Why can't I lose belly fat? Well, let's sit back and do an inventory of what's going on in your life. Okay, well, you have this business here. You have this happening here. You have this going on here. Makes sense. And it's going to be much more difficult for you at this point to lose belly fat just because of what's happening in your life. You need to manage what's going on. You need to step back and put more stock into the things that are causing cortisol, causing stress, causing that chronic stress, because that's going to kill us. That's going to kill us. That's going to cause strokes. That's going to cause heart attacks. That's going to cause high blood pressure. That's going to cause us to eat. That's going to cause us not to sleep. So we need to, and again, cortisol plays a very, very important part of your metabolism, right? But when your cortisol levels are high, it has a negative effect. It helps to, it will increase that fat storage, specifically around. And you know what? The big thing is sleep. If you're not getting a lot of sleep, and this is where I find it, I remember I learned this many, many years ago in a certification course, a sleep cert, that when you don't get a lot of sleep, you will see more fat around your obliques, like around the spare tire. You'll see that, like, and then all of a sudden, if you get 4 or 5 days of, 7 to 9 hours sleep every day, all of a sudden it's gone. I'm talking about if you're pretty lean, already, but you can see that lack of sleep, high cortisol levels, all of that. Cortisol stimulates fat and carbohydrate metabolism too. So it creates a surge of energy, which again, we need. But when it's too high, these things don't happen. So it's very, very important that we focus on keeping our cortisol levels down. We focus on getting enough sleep. We focus on digestion and insulin resistance as well. The third one is estrogen. So we talked about cortisol, we talked about testosterone. Now we're going to talk about estrogen. And estrogen, again, although it's a female hormone for women, men, we need estrogen. Okay. We need it because it will helps us to, it helps in our sexual performance, it helps in our sexual health. So we need estrogen. There's good levels of estrogen, but too much estrogen, what happens is when we have too much estrogen, it creates what's called aromatase, which converts testosterone into estrogen. So too many fat cells due to having high estrogen levels causes aromatase. So all that estrogen, all that testosterone that your body is producing, whenever it's producing, now it's getting converted into estrogen, which will lead to more fat storage. And so we have to do things that will manage estrogen, manage estradiol, right? Because elevated levels will cause fat storage. Generally speaking, I mentioned this before, whenever I see somebody with belly, right, 100% and 90% of the time, I will say that person has high estrogen levels and low testosterone at the belly fat. They had the beer belly. So again, fat storage, that's what happens. Aromatase happens, which converts testosterone. What you want is testosterone to be converted to estradiol in the way that it will when your estrogen levels are high, which is caused when you have too much fat stored. High estrogen causes belly fat storage. So there's the kicker. Causes belly fat storage while it's converting your testosterone into estrogen, which causes belly fat storage. Estradiol influences your metabolism. It influences your appetite. So again, will lead to weight gain. It plays a role in when your estradiol levels are good. It actually plays a role in regulating your hunger and satiety signals. So it'll make that a little bit more healthy. So we want to make sure that our testosterone levels are high naturally. Our estrogen levels we have a healthy level of estradiol and they're not high. And then our cortisol levels are not chronic. You do need them, Macron, because all of this that I'm talking about right now affects your belly fat. That's what it boils down to. It will affect whether you can lose it or you're going to keep it, or what's going on in your life and how fast you lose it, etc. So again, hormonal shifts are going to help with this. So now let's talk about the biggest mistakes most guys make when trying to lose belly fat. So now we understand the risks. Now we understand why our hormones are so important and why we have to continue focusing and keeping a focus on our hormones, getting tested as much as we can every 3 to 6 months, get blood tests, full hormone markers, so we know what's happening with our bodies all the time, not guessing, but getting it done. But here are some of the mistakes that guys make when trying to lose the belly fat. Number one is overemphasis on cardio, right? So I hear this all. Okay, well, I got to lose a little bit more belly fat. So what cardio can I do? If you're watching this right now, you're watching this coaching call right now, you do not have to do cardio in the sense of going on a piece of machine and being on it for 45 minutes, 60 minutes, because there is cardio in the workouts that you're doing. If you're doing the workouts at the perceived intensity that you should be doing. If you're just going through the motions of the type of workouts that we do, which are metabolic training, which is one of the best ways to burn calories, not only during, but you'll burn calories after. We'll talk about that too, due to EPOC, because that's what we want, right? We want to burn calories during, but one of the things that people make mistakes is that they focus on how many calories they burn during the workout, right? So they're like, okay, I burned 300 calories during this workout. That's great. If you're doing a long 45 minutes or 60 minutes on the treadmill or elliptical or whatever, and you come, oh yeah, Funk, I burned 300 calories. It's going to take your body probably 30 minutes, maybe an hour to get back to homeostasis, which means get back to where your body was before you started that 45 minutes, 60-minute elliptical. Okay, so 300 calories, yeah, I burned 300 calories. Maybe your body's going to burn another 30, 40 calories because it takes your body energy to get back to where it started, homeostasis. But because you're doing it at a moderate level, because no one can do 45, 60 minutes of cardio at a high intensity for that long, because no one has that endurance, it's not going to take your body long to get back to where it was. So you're not going to burn that many calories. So when it's all said and done, when you're sitting down after your shower, you burn maybe, say, 400 calories. Okay. Flip it to a metabolic workout where you're going from one exercise to another, roll to no rest in between, as many reps as possible during your workout. Well, and it's short, it's only 30 minutes, 25 minutes, 20 minutes, sometimes even 16 minutes. You do a workout like that because your intensity is so high, because you are able to go as hard as you can, because you're not training at a longer period of time. Plus you have rest periods in between. Maybe you burn 200 calories, 250. You didn't even get to the 400, maybe 250 because we did in a short period of time. But it will take your body, and this is backed by science and research, 24 to 36 hours to get back to homeostasis, which means your body's going to continuously burn calories, which is what we want. You want a resting metabolic rate. You want to be burning calories throughout the day with the nutrition, with rest, with the type of workouts we do. So imagine by the end of, let's say 24 hours, let's say next day, your body's going to burn way more than 200 calories, maybe 4, 5, 6, 700. There's times when I wake up in the morning and I've already burned 600 calories just by waking up, looking at my Whoop and see how many calories I burn because of my resting metabolic rate due to having muscle, the right workouts, etc., good sleep, all of those things. So that's one thing. The second thing about that is long cardio burns muscle. You're actually breaking down and burning your muscle that you need. So yes, you could potentially lose weight. And again, that's going to bring you into that. I got no muscle. I got belly fat. And again, you're depleting, you're doing everything opposite. You're depleting what is going to help you to burn more calories, what's going to help you to be stronger, what's going to help you to be healthier, and what's going to help with longevity. It's muscle. So that's mistake number one. Getting too much cardio. Cardio is not your answer to getting, I don't know, building muscles is your answer to getting belly fat. Number two, biggest mistake, ignoring your nutrition. Literally ignoring nutrition. I'm going to do more. Listen, I know we have an app challenge going on right now. And the reason why we have this app challenge going on right now is because it's going to allow you to build strength in your abs and your core. Not necessarily is it going to help you to see your abs unless you're on a point where it's like, okay, I'm almost there. Maybe if I add a little bit of weight, I can see the pop, but we still need to build strength in our abs. We still need to build strength in our core. We still need to build that strength as we get older. So we're having this challenge, but while we're having this challenge, what a perfect time to focus on nutrition. What a perfect time to ensure that you're getting rid of the processed foods, getting rid of the sugars, getting rid of the healthy fat, getting rid of the alcohol, and really focusing on using this time when we have a challenge where we're literally focusing on abs to accelerate your potential to lose that belly fat because you already have something in place. We're doing abs every single day. And the other reason why I thought about this too is because I remember when I was training Muay Thai in Thailand, we always did abs every single day. You have to do 200, 300 abs every single. It's not even like what the abs I'm giving. It's literally just crunches. Nothing you're doing. It's just crunches and leg raises. That's it. But by the end of that month, of course, you're training Muay Thai. You're eating healthy. It's like, if you've seen the pictures of my son's abs when he was in Thailand. So let's do that. Let's put a lot of volume on the abs because abs are muscles. Put the volume on. We'll change it up every week, but this now gives you a chance to focus on getting rid of all the shitty foods, focusing on the healthy foods, focusing on protein, starchy healthy carbs, healthy fats, fruits and vegetables. Like this is the perfect time. And it's 100% though. It's not 50%. Guilt-free meals aren't, if you're trying to lose belly fat, guilt-free meals, the word guilt-free or cheat meal shouldn't even come out of your mouth because those are the type of things that are going to sabotage getting rid of belly fat. You got to get there first. Once you're there, I could, but if you continue to struggle with it, you're just prolonging the struggle. It's insanity. It's doing the same thing, expecting the same result, expecting a different result. You're doing the same thing over and over. Okay, maybe if I do it again, this time it's July, I'll do the same thing in July. The same thing I did in February. I didn't work in February, maybe because February is a little colder. I'll do it in July. July's warmer. Maybe it'll work. That same thing, guess what? It ain't gonna work. You gotta get life from 100%. You have to be 100%. So again, ignoring diet, ignoring just the basic nutrition, like that's a huge mistake because you want the shortcut. Right? Mistake number 3 is sleep, not getting sleep. I am telling you right now, 100%. The reason why I'm still struggling with a little bit of belly fat here, and this is just for me, is because my sleep cycles. I'm not getting 7 to 9 hours sleep every day. I'm only getting 5. I'm going to bed at 11 when I'm 11, but I'm getting up at 4:30. I'm getting up at 5. I'm not prolonging my sleep, but I'm going to bed late. 11 o'clock is too late if I want to get 7 to 9 hours sleep because I'm working on something. So I know that's like that. If I want to lose this, I have to put and all of the other amazing benefit that comes with getting 7 to 9 hours sleep. I have to focus on sleep 100% because lack of sleep elevates cortisol level. It increases your appetite and it leads to weight gain, period. And it's quality of sleep. So even if I get 7 to 9, is it quality sleep? That's why I track that type of stuff. Are we getting that sleep? It's so important. It literally will make or break. We're just talking belly fat. That's what we're just talking about right now, but it'll make or break, more like obviously testosterone production, all of that stuff. Cause it happens when you're in deep sleep. That's when testosterone production happen. If you're not getting that happening, then you're not producing testosterone the way you want to. It has to be a priority during the time. You have to change things up. You've got to make things in your life. That's why I mentioned at the very beginning, lifestyle changes. That's why people won't do this, because you have to literally make lifestyle changes. Number 4, neglecting stress management. I call it chronic cortisol management. But yes, stress. A lot. If you own a company, if you are in the middle of a divorce, if you are moving, if you have kids running around the house 24/7, if you are working on a project, if you are, a professional that is in a very high uh, stress environment at this moment, it is going to be very difficult for you to lose a belly fat. Like the last little bit of belly fat. It's not difficult to lose belly fat in general. It's when you get to that last bit. It's when you're like, "God, I can't get rid of this fucking, what is happening? It's just this little thing right here. It's just, I'm just this. Just, I just want to chop it off so I can." It's so frustrating because you think you're doing everything for you, because of stress. You've got to have stress reducing activities into your daily routine. You have to gratitude journal, meditate, breathe, go out into nature, leisurely walks, self-care, do something for yourself. 30 minutes a day, something you love, only you, something that will put you in an incredible, something healthy, by the way, that puts you into a very, your own great, incredible mindset every single day, carving that 30 minutes. No matter how busy you are, we're all busy. I'm busy. You're busy. Everyone's busy. People's got kids. People got grandkids. People are doing. Everyone's busy. But that's why you have to let me lay back and start prioritizing things, because we're no good to anybody if we're always stressed and negative. If we're depressed, we're no good to anybody. We're no good to ourselves because we're not giving ourselves self-care. So we can't really be that good to everyone else. We may be thinking we are, but we're generally not. We're generally not. Start with yourself and you'll be able to get that. But anyway, so stress management. Number 5 is setting unrealistic expectations. Lack of patience. It takes time. It takes consistency. 6 months, man, because it's not about a quick fix. It's not about a crash diet. It's not about adding finishers. It's a long-term lifestyle change that will lead to long-term sustainability. The longer you take to get this into action, getting that down, it is, because you're doing it. You're right. You're not crash dieting where you're going to bounce right back. You're literally changing your lifestyle to become much healthier. And then next thing you know, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's here. Like all of a sudden it happens overnight. Feels like sometimes it happens overnight where you start to see it. And it just gets you more focused on that. And then boom, it's going to be there much longer than I had it and then I lost it because I did some crash diet or I did something, or, you know what I mean? Like you want sustainability. We want this to be long-term, and then we can manage it long-term. We can say, oh, wait a minute, I went away this week and, I'm going to UFC Vancouver on the 8th, right? I'm right now, even I'm managing. Like I already know, okay, when we get there, work that night, go work out. Like I'm already thinking we ended up. Then we're going to the cottage for the week after. I'm already scheduling daily workouts for everybody. Like we're already talking about the meals that we're going to make. We're already there because we want to be healthy while we enjoy rest. Help rest and recovery, being in nature, et cetera, et cetera. So it's going to take time. It is going to take time. And that's what a lot of people like. Man, if you think about it, 6 months is compared to like 7 years. Like 6 months is really nothing. If you really think about it, 6 months is not a long period of time. I say 7 years because you could be struggling going, same thing, 7 years, same thing. It's like, man, if I just freaking put my head down for 6 months, we wouldn't be here right now. 7 years from now, when you're in the hospital after a heart attack or a stroke or blood pressure, or you're taking prescription pills or whatever it is. Like 6 months isn't that long. And it may not even take 6 months, but I like to throw that number 6 months because it's like if I can dial everything down, and what's going to happen is your whole lifestyle is going to change, and it's going to be focused on your health when you start making these changes. So let's talk about changes, what we can do. How do we do this? Again, you guys probably already know this. That's why at the very beginning of this saying, it's not about what, it's about, are you entering the way? That's basically what it is. Do you really want to lose this belly fat? Do you really want to lose belly fat, or are you just saying belly fat? Because you can listen to this 100 times over. You can go on YouTube and listen to a million people say this. You can buy books and talk about losing belly fat. You can be so entrenched in how to lose belly fat. It's not going to help you lose belly fat. You have to actually do the work. And it's good work. That's the cool thing about it. It's great work. You're going to feel better. You're going to look better. You're going to learn more. Step 1, balanced plate, nutrition plan. Simple as that. It's that simple. Proteins, it's actually not that simple. Proteins, help proteins. Why? Because we need muscle, right? So we need to have protein 3 times a day, each meal. Healthy fats, right? Because that has cholesterol, which helps with our testosterone. Fruits and vegetables, of course. Specifically the greens, cruciferous, because our gut health also has a lot to do with belly fat. So we need that gut health. Gut health has to do with everything, but gut health specifically, fiber is going to be key for that. Fruits and vegetables, and of course, healthy starchy carbs, because they'll also have fiber that we need. 3 times a day. That's it. Right. And staying away from processed foods, staying away from refined sugars, staying away from trans fats, staying away from packaged milk, staying away from alcohol, staying away from all the things that are going to sabotage your health and your life. Because that's what all those things do. There's nothing good with about anything that I talked about beforehand. So that's really it. And the biohack is eat your greens first, eat your vegetables first. If you have your meal, eat the vegetables first, then eat the protein, then eat the fat, then eat the carbs. That way you won't have that insulin spike. So always eat vegetables first. Your salad, eat that first. Then you eat the protein right after that. Then you eat the healthy fats, and watch how you feel after compared to the way you may be eating now. You see a big change in the amount of energy you still hold. And the amount of energy there. So balanced nutrition plan, 100%. Got to be in 100%, because every little thing that you put in there is going to jeopardize you getting to where you need to go. Specifically for people who just have that last bit of belly fat. That last bit of belly fat that's there. It's not unhealthy to have a little bit of belly fat. It's not unhealthy to have a little bit of belly fat, but what we're talking about for those guys who have a little bit left, they're just like, I can see abs, but it's just this little bit. The aesthetics people, your nutrition has to be, you have to literally be like, okay, eat too much of this, too much of that. Like, that's the difference between getting to like 9% and 10%. We're not all trying to get there. I'm just talking to those people who are there. But if you're just trying to lose belly fat, then the balanced plate meal is number 1. Number 2, you need metabolic resistance training. You need resistance training. You need to build muscle. Okay. Cardio has its place. Cardio will have its place within some of the workouts that you do. But you need muscle. Muscle is the key to longevity. We need to be building muscle. We need to be building strength. We need compound movements. We need multi-group movements. All of the things that you are doing currently, if you're following these workouts, are set up specifically for that. But you got to do it with intention and intensity. Because if you're just going through the motions, you're not going to build muscle. There needs to be progressive overload. That has to happen in order for you to build muscle. Just doing the workout using the same weight over and over again is not going to work. You need to progressively overload. You need to master the movement. You need to struggle. You need to have your rate of perceived exertion through most of your workouts should be about 8 or 10 by the last set. Like you should be, you don't have to be dead every workout, but because we're only working out 3 to 4 times a week, and because we have recovery in between, You have a perfect plan. You just have to execute it. It's execution. Number 3 is sleep. 7 to 9 hours. If you're not getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, it's time to do it's time to make changes like I'm doing. Is my room cool enough? Is it, for me, I know what it is. I need to go to negative. That's literally what it is. Because I get up at 4:30 and 5. So if I'm always getting up 4:30 and 5, what's even 6 hours, because I get good sleep. It's just not, so even 6 hours is going to be better, right? Like, let's not try to go from 0 to hero. Like if I'm only getting 4 or 3 hours sleep or whatever it is, you guys can literally go to my Whoop and see. If you're part of the Whoop team, you can literally see. So if I'm not getting like, you can see my sleep. Now the Whoop isn't the greatest with sleep. Maybe we can have a discussion in the Whoop group for you guys who are part of the Whoop group. We can have a little bit of a discussion on if you think the Whoop is tracking your sleep properly. But anyways, start making changes, right? Establish a regular sleep schedule, wind down, use some of the tips that I gave you guys last coaching call. Yeah. To get better sleep. We've got a sleep guide in phase number 1. Because that could literally, right, that in itself, getting more sleep could be the answer to losing weight. I just, I'm doing everything, but I'm only getting 1 hour sleep. Maybe if you got better sleep. If I do this. Step number 4 is managing stress. So we talked about that. Stress, again, ensuring that you have stress reduction techniques that work for you. Meditation, breathing. Like I said, do not take this lightly. Mental health is huge. Depression, suicide, that's big in our age group for men. And sometimes we think, oh, we got this. But all of these, managing our own chronic stress is going to be very, very important as we get older, because as I mentioned, we are the ones that are going to be at the forefront when shit hits the fan. And if we don't have something that allows us to manage it, if someone dies, if something happens in the family, and, as I talked about, we are the patriarchs, we are the ones that people will come to. If we have no way of handling these things, because we can't even handle ourselves, I'm so stressed out. Oh my God, I can't handle this. Then, it's not going to be good for anybody. So, including ourselves, because we're going to feel horrible that we couldn't handle what we needed to, in a way that we could have if we had stress management skills. So I'm actually thinking running a 21-day meditation challenge in July that has because a lot of people, we all know, okay, yeah, we got to meditate, do yoga, do breathing, but a lot of us don't really know, okay, well, what do I do? Like, how do I meditate? Right? Like, wouldn't it be great to have a 21-day thing where, every day you just listen to something that takes you through a meditation ritual. And by the end of the 21 days, you have a meditation ritual that because you just learned it because you went through a 21-day intensive. I'm looking into putting something like that together. I've got some guided meditation tapes that I listen to, recordings that I listen to from a good friend of mine who focuses on that. And she's like, yeah, just use it. So I may be doing that. Just running like a challenge that we had. Abs, then we'll do meditation. Anyways, things to help us with that. We need to get that, because again, that chronic cortisol is killing us. No alcohol. I know that this is the time of year when we want to have drinks, enjoy our company, but I'm telling you, if I'm not saying never to drink, well, no, but what? Because we don't really need it and it's killing us. But this is the time. You don't want to do it because it affects your sleep, it affects your testosterone. I had a sleep expert on my testosterone on my podcast. I think that should be coming out next week. This guy, he's good. Very, very. And then the last thing to do is just regular check-ins. Like how are you tracking your health? What's your body measurements? Taking pictures, getting your blood work done, right? Get that blood work done. Find out. Maybe there's things happening in your body that you don't know. You're thinking it's one thing, but if you just focus more on your gut health, or if you focus more on something else, that all of a sudden, oh my God, things just started to fall into place, right? Use the camera first thing in the morning when you wake up. That's when you want to take those pictures, not after you work out. I mean, yes, you do want to take those sweaty selfies after you work out, but when it comes time to like, okay, I want to see how I'm tracking, but I want to see how I'm tracking. So I'm going to just stand in front of the mirror. You don't have to show anybody, but when you first wake up, when you're dehydrated, get that camera, stand in front, flex your abs, don't stand up, do not. I'll tell you guys, when you're taking pictures, don't elongate yourself, because obviously you're elongating, you're taking yourself out of a flex. You want to flex the abs, so you're going to make yourself a little bit smaller and then take the picture. These are ab pictures. These will only show your biceps. They will definitely not show your abs. In fact, they'll probably show a protruding belly that you probably don't really have if you're pulling up. What we're doing is we're doing the abs. So whenever you see bodybuilders on stage, when they're flexing their abs, you see them, they flex. So just flex in the morning, flex the abs, breathe out, take the picture, and that will be your tracking, your progression on how you're progressing through this journey. Yeah. So, and then with your workouts, with your workout, like for me, here's another thing. Here's the other thing that the aha moment I had. Here it is. Beautiful. Because again, I am struggling with just a little bit here. I've been using some functional training. I've been doing more functional training. I'm creating a functional training programming specifically for men over 40. But generally speaking, the functional training, I have to start back from functional basic workouts, functional strength workouts, functional muscle and hypertrophy workouts, et cetera, et cetera. So I have to go back and start from the beginning and move forward. So my workouts up to maybe last month weren't as metabolic. I wasn't getting as metabolic as I should. And so when I said that to Angela the other day, I said I'm struggling a little bit with this, step. I did my in-body and I was like, it's still like 12%, 11% body fat. And I thought I would have been like 9 or 8 at this time. And so I realized, okay, sleep, stress. So I got the stress and put in sleep, and then more metabolic workouts, more intensity in my metabolic workouts. And that's what it was. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Cause now that I'm doing more intense functional metabolic workouts now, cause I just, I'm doing functional cardio, functional shred. I'm starting to see it happen. Literally starting to see it happen. There it is. It's so, cause we're all different. So that's the other thing I'm going to say. We're all different. So, different foods will affect us. Different, our body makeup's different, but the template's there. Like maybe for one person it's sleep, for one person it's stress, for one person, the workouts aren't as intense as they could be. Another person is here and there with the nutrition, kind of at 90% nutrition. Everything literally has to be almost 100% if you want to get to me. If you want to get to that point. If you don't, or you're okay with where you are, then that's great. That's great. Like, hey, I'm good. I'm happy. I can just, I'm always trying to progressively overload and build more muscle. I'm always trying to optimize my workouts. I'm always trying to optimize my health in any way. I'm always trying to increase my testosterone levels. Sure. But this is not like you have to do this to stay healthy. This will keep you healthy, obviously, but really and truly, if you want to lose that extra belly fat, people are saying, I just want to lose fat. I want to lose belly fat. This is the way to do it. There's no other way. There's no supplement that's going to help you. You can take the supplement all you want, but if you're not doing anything else, then all of those other things are going to supersede the supplement. The supplement is the last piece, like the fat shredder or whatever. Those supplements are the last piece when everything else is there. But focus on all the other stuff first, and you'll get there. So, yeah, it just to kind of conclude and takeaways. We talked about how belly fat is more than just aesthetic. It's really and truly associated with a lot of increased health issues, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, different types of cancer. The visceral fat will really put a strain on our organs and our liver. We also talked about the skinny fat, which if you're skinny fat, and you know it when you are, because you just see it, and you're like, man, I have no muscle and I've got a belly, even though I'm really, really slim. We know that, okay, we need to build muscle because it's more metabolic. We got to stop, if we're doing diets or whatever, or if we're not doing anything, we got to do something, or if we're just focusing on long cardio or runs, and maybe you were a runner before, maybe you were a marathon runner. And now you realize, okay, as I'm getting older, the muscle that I'm losing muscle faster, because that's what happens, right? Sarcopenia, we're losing muscle faster, we're less metabolic, you start to get depressed, your testosterone levels get low. Okay, I gotta do some metabolic training, some get resistance in there, focus on nutrition, focus on protein. We learned about hormones and how testosterone and the constant journey of increasing our T levels naturally, the constant journey of getting our testosterone levels checked on an ongoing basis is a must. And learning how cortisol and estrogen affect our belly, our gut, managing stress, how it helps our sleep, etc. We talked about the mistakes that most guys make, really, overemphasizing cardio, neglecting diet, not focusing on sleep, forgetting about stress, all of the things that will lead you to a completely unhealthy life and a complete breakdown. And then we talked about the proactive things we need to do. And a lot of this for us, if we're just like in our last bit of pounds that we need to lose is, okay, let's do a audit. Let me audit my training. Okay, next time I go out this week as I'm training, put a little bit more effort in. Let me audit my nutrition. Okay, 100%. Gonna get rid of everything in my house that is I gotta cook my own meals. I gotta get rid of everything. Yes, my kids have this in the house, but I'm the father, and I understand that, I'm not using my kid as an excuse. I'm using my wife who cooks meals as an excuse. I will take control of my own health if that's what I need to do. Prioritizing sleep, managing stress, getting rid of all of the things that kill, alcohol and what have you, that are usually associated with summer, and just enjoying the summer and having an incredible time with the people who are around you. And then just regularly checking in with yourself, tracking your progress, and with, wearables or ways that you do that, staying on top of your biomarkers and, your hormones, and, being proactive in yourself, in regards to your own check-ins, and be real with yourself too. Like, take the shirt off and look yourself in the mirror and see what's going on. Like, do that more often, because that's going to keep you accountable, right? And before we even finish off, the number one thing before you even start the journey, if this is your journey, is why do you want to do this? Because in the end, it is the why that is going to keep you accountable. It's going to keep you self-motivated. It's going to keep you on point. Nothing else will. If you don't have a strong enough why, then it's not going to happen, because you'll always tap out. You'll always let other things in your life cause you to tap out, because you won't have a strong enough thing to grasp at, right? Oh, my why is way more, yeah, you just have to compromise. That's the word I'm looking for. Never compromise. That's your whole life thing should be never compromise. You should never compromise your health for anything else outside of you, because that's the most important thing. You are the most important thing. You. your health. Because if it's not there, then you're no good to nobody. So, specifically our age. Okay, so with that, I appreciate you guys here. Let's get some questions. Hopefully you guys did. Let me just check you. If you have questions, so this is the question part of our. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you did, just it's a little thumbs up. This week we have a new app workout. It is actually in Vimeo. I tried to upload it, but Facebook wouldn't let me upload it. So it'll be released at 12:05. It's a new workout that we do all week. It's 100 reps. It's much shorter, and it's all about consistency, right? Like doing 200, 300, 400, 500. Great. That's not what it's about. It's about consistency. Apple cider vinegar. Okay. I'm going to answer the apple cider vinegar question, and then I'm going to hit Travis John B. Apple cider vinegar is great, man. It's awesome for digestion. It's awesome for gut health. It's awesome for helping with fat loss. Actually, I take apple cider vinegar gummies, and yeah, it's a great. I take that because I don't like the apple cider. Just taking apple cider vinegar, because you can have a shot of apple cider vinegar at night, morning, whenever you want. But it is it's very good for all of those things, for your gut health, for digestive health, right? Because obviously that all has to do with your gut, which will help with metabolic health and okay. Yeah, I got my mom's just like, as you guys know, I don't have the supplements anymore. And I just went to see my mom. She's like, hey, where's the apple vinegar, man? Where are those gummies? Where are those gummies? Like, she loves those gummies. Trying to get my mom, like, taking everything that we're taking, NMN, apple cider vinegar. We got her on doing the electrolytes every morning, all of those things. Try to keep my family as healthy as possible. Okay, Travis.
Yeah, I got two separate questions.
Yeah. Hold
First
on.
question.
Wait. Let me just spotlight you. Okay. Yes, brother.
Okay, first question. What techniques or whatever you learned in the past that get us that allows you to get into deep sleep? Like, wait. And also, what's your thoughts on drinking coconut water?
Okay, so number one for sleep. So there's no one size fits all, because everyone is different in regards to what to do and what not to do. So first and foremost, if you're having problems sleeping, then the first thing you can do is you can eat 3 hours before you sleep. Try to get that. It's not going to always happen, because sometimes if you work out late, you still need that meal. But last meal you have 3 hours before you go to sleep. 2 hours before you go to sleep, shut this off. No phones, no social media, none of that stuff. An hour before you sleep, get into that meditative zone. Maybe read a book, something that kind of allows you to shut things down, right? Making sure that your room is sleep suitable, dark, cool, all of those things. Your bed has a big thing to do with it. If you are sleeping on a shitty bed, that's going to get, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes if you're not getting a lot of sleep, just investing in a good bed. Like, I don't know if you've been to a hotel, you've been to, let me say, many hotels. And there's some hotels where that bed is just like, oh my God, I feel like I'm sleeping on a cloud. And it's like, where do I get that? Like, the difference between beds, you know what I mean? So those are things that, like, you have to invest in. It's expensive, but you know what I mean? But it's not, it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to do these things first, and then it's going to just happen, like, after the first week, right? So if you haven't had good sleep for a long time, it's going to take a while to get your body in. But tracking your sleep cycles by using a wearable just to see, okay, last night I got 4 hours. Like tonight I got 4.5 hours. And starting to do that can help you track that. But those are the three things I would start from the very beginning, which is what I do now. Well, the food thing is difficult because sometimes I'm training later. But yeah, I think that does that help?
Yes.
He wasn't.
Yeah, I definitely got a problem with before I go to bed, I'm on the phone looking, I gotta shut that off.
Yeah, that's
I think it's causing my mind to race. It's
Oh.
causing me
100%. So when you're on the phone before you go to bed, first thing that's happening is you're decreasing your chances, your melatonin, right? Melatonin is a hormone. It's our natural sleep hormone. But what's happening is all these other hormones are getting serotonin and cortisol, all the things that we don't want when we want to go to sleep are elevated. So now it's gonna, now even when you shut this off, these are still going. These are still going. So it's gonna take you way longer. Plus whatever's going on in here, whatever you just watched, whatever you just, so that includes TV. Like an hour before you go to bed, shut the TV off and just get into your own state of just, I'm going to take some time to just chill out and get to sleep.
great advice. I never heard of.
Yeah, definitely. And then the coconut water. I have coconut water. Well, I haven't had coconut water in many years. The only time I would ever have coconut water is after an intense training session. That's the only time, because it'll help with it helps with replenishing the glycogen stores, replenishing things that you deplenished during the workout. That's the only time I would have coconut water. The only time. Other than that, there's no need. That's just me.
Gotcha. So there's no need of you walking around chugging coconut water.
No, you should be chugging water.
I got
coconut water. The only time you have coconut water is after that training. So when we were training Muay Thai, it would be an hour, 2-hour training session. The first thing you go to the stand and you get coconut water. It's just like, okay, you can start to, now everything you start to replenish all the glycogen stores that you just destroyed. You start to get that energy to at least get you back to your room so you can shower and then eat. So it gives you that immediate, okay, we're good. Electrolytes, all those things. So yeah, that's the only time I went out cooking. Yeah.
Good into it. Thank you.
Okay, let's go to just follow. Okay, John B.
And done.
Good, I'm very good. Very good.
Me with lots of questions. I'll make this very quick. BCAA and PT should do that daily.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yes.
Creatine
for sure. Creatine for sure. And just to let everyone know with the creatine as well, just be aware. First of all, creatine is great for us guys. 100% great. It's amazing. Yeah, you can take it forever. You can take it long term. It's only good for us. It helps with performance. It helps with our brain health, and of course helps with muscle recovery. The key is for the first month you're taking creatine, you may feel some bloating. You may feel that, specifically if you're not drinking enough water, because that's what creatine does, is shuttling water to the muscles. But once your body gets used to it, then you'll be fine. So the bloating, it doesn't happen to everybody, but the bloating will happen generally the first, I say month. I give it a month. And then after that, you'll just get through that first month and then you're fine. You can take it forever. Going on and off of it, I wouldn't do that. I would just take creatine, but just get through that first month. Yeah.
All right. So I do my skating Saturdays for 3 hours.
Yes.
I'm hurting myself skipping Saturday's workouts.
No, do not do Saturday's workout if you're skating 3 hours.
Yeah, that would be difficult.
No, Saturday's workout is a bonus workout. In fact, I'd rather you guys do things you love, like skating, playing ball, basketball, football, whatever it is. Like that's go hiking. Like, if you're doing that, then there's no need to do it. No need at all.
Okay. The last thing is I'm going to the doctor in like 3 weeks to do a full markup of everything, find out where my accounts, all that stuff. So anything recommended? Obviously testosterone, estrogen, cortisol.
Yeah.
What else should I specifically ask for?
Everything. Just tell them, asking for a full biomarkers, everything. I want to know every freaking thing that's going on in my body. Biomarkers. Okay. Now, did you ask your doctor this already, or are you going in?
No, I'm going to go to the doctor.
Okay. Yeah.
That date. I wanted to guarantee I should ask them about where I want to be in section.
Yes. Amazing. Okay.
That's it.
Right. Virginia. Skating. Chef. The chef.
Yeah, I got a simple question. I think I'm sabotaging some days. On the days on our mobility days, do I supposed to keep the same amount of protein or do I listen? Because sometimes I tend to listen it up.
No. Protein is if we want this and we want longevity, we need protein. Protein is not a workout specific thing. Protein is a life specific thing. It's the building blocks of our muscles. So exact same protein, exact same foods, everything stays the same. Just mobility and yoga.
So I got this down. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, let me just. So Nell, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Funk?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. So I have put it in a Facebook thing, but I wanted to ask on here. So quick question. So I was with your program a year ago, right?
Yeah.
I did phase 1 through 12.
Yeah.
I started 13.
Yeah.
I had some things going on in life, so I canceled the program. Well, I just reinstated back into the program. Should I start all the way back at phase 1? Or should I start where I left off at 13?
When's the last time you were in this? Was it a year?
It was like a year ago. Yeah.
I would probably do phase 1 just to get you back into because a year is a long time. A year is a very long time. I wouldn't do the whole 12 phases. I would definitely go back and do phase 1 just to get your conditioning and get used to the metabolic training. And then see how you feel. And then you could just move to phase 13.
Okay.
Yeah. But I would definitely go back to phase 1 because that's like, oh shit, okay, this is where I'm at right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly right. You may even do the first 3 phases. Again, just to be like, okay, I need to get back in. Don't get discouraged. Don't be like, oh man, I was way better than this last time. Know that start over. Like know that that's what it's gonna be, and that's when it is, and your whole focus is just getting better every phase, every workout, every month. That's all it is. Don't worry about where you were before. Don't worry about all that. Nothing you can do.
All right.
Keep it posted, man, for sure. And welcome back.
All right, no problem.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hey, Robbie G. Man, good to you though.
I haven't been on the calls in a while, man. How are you?
I'm great. Hold on. I'm trying to get. Okay. Oh yes. Okay. What's up?
Too fun. I have 3 kind of quick. Well, I don't know about quick, so you can answer any or all of them or none of them if there's not enough time. Just real quick about the creatine. I haven't taken creatine in like 25 years.
Yeah.
Is there still a loading phase, or is that
no?
I think past.
No, I think of a past. Yeah, just take it every day, 5 grams a day. Take it every day. Know that you are going to feel some bloating. You are going to have some water retention. It will only last for, I say, a month. Some people a lot less. Just get through it. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Just take it every day. Best time to take it on workout days is after your workout. And if you can't take it after your workout, just take it. If you still play hockey, take it before you play hockey. Because creatine is also a performance supplement. It's a performance supplement too. It helps increase your performance.
So on workout days, if I can take it after we're working out, like, I mean, it's okay to take it at the same time I'm having lunch, essentially, right after I work out, or am I in shake?
Yeah, I generally have it with water. Like if I'm taking creatine, I would be right after I work out, I have BCAAs, protein, and a scoop of creatine and just drink it. That's what I do.
And what about non-workout days?
Just whenever I can, morning, daytime, nighttime, whenever. Sometimes I shouldn't take my creatine now, so I just take it enough.
And you said this is 5 days a week or 7?
Every day. Every day. Creatine's every day.
And then how long do you take it before you kind of take a week off or a month?
You don't
off?
take a week off. You don't. Because if you do, then you're gonna have to go through that whole thing all over again. Just take it.
Good. All right. Thank you. Next question, real quick. Where do you stand on like working out? Some of your workouts, doing them barefoot.
I mean, I think for a lot of the phases, I did my workouts barefoot because I had to do it during COVID. I had to do it at a thing, so I had to do it all barefoot. So yeah, I mean, I was used to working out barefoot anyway through training, through Muay Thai training, because you'd have to do the workouts right there with the barefoot. So yeah, no whenever, yeah. Just the only thing you have to be aware of is, and what the one thing that why I had to change the place I used to work out is because doing barefoot workouts on a floor kills your knees and your hips, and so kills your joint because it's
Well,
a floor.
if you do it on a hard floor, you mean?
Yes, yeah, because that's where I was doing it. If you look at
Right.
well, you're past it, but yeah. But so just be aware of where you're doing it. If you're on grass, if you're on softer floor, 100%, 100%.
Okay. The last thing, which is a little more involved. I'm definitely one of those doesn't get enough sleep. I don't need 7, 8 hours
Yes,
a
you
night.
do.
If I get 6.5 good hours, I feel
Okay.
I'm totally fine.
Yeah.
I have no problem falling asleep. I'm asleep where my head hits the pillow. It's the staying asleep. And especially now that it's light out at 4:45 in the morning, I'm popping up at 5 a.m. So I guess my question is I know you're a proponent of kind of powering through workouts when you don't feel great, when you're tired. At what point do you start to have the diminishing returns and you force a workout when you're sleep deprived? At what point is it not only, no longer beneficial to kind of force it, but you're actually maybe doing harm to yourself by actually forcing a workout?
Yeah. So very great question. Sleep deprivation has in now 6.5 hours is not sleep deprivation. In fact, 6.5 hours is good sleep, specifically if it's quality sleep.
I'm not getting that consistently.
Okay.
I'm closer to the low fives consistently.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, sleep deprivation is going to be, is key to everything, including the progress you're going to have in workouts. So we need to move. That's regardless. But if you're only getting 3 to 1 hours sleep and you're training, the results you get from the workouts are definitely not going to be optimal. Like, you're not going to build muscle if you're not getting sleep. You're not going to burn fat if you're not getting sleep. Your hormones are going to be out of whack if you're not getting sleep. But the activity and the habit of working out needs to be there. Because if you stop working out and so let's say, okay, well, you know what? I'm too tired. I'm not going to work out. That just becomes, I'm too tired. I'm not going to work out. No, you're not working out and you're not getting sleep. So there's two things. And then when you get the sleep, now you got to get back to it. Like, the moving and workouts, that are non-negotiable. Whether you can only do 1 round or 2 rounds because you run sleep, then that's what you're going to have to do. But the action of training cannot stop. Can't stop.
Like I just finished phase 15,
Yes.
which there's an AMRAP workout. There's
EMOM, AMRAP.
there's a ladder workout. It was one of my favorite phases, but there were a couple of days where I did the full 3 rounds on about 4.5 hours sleep, and I it definitely took my heart a little bit longer to come down.
Yeah.
And those are the days I was thinking, fuck, am I about to have a heart attack because I should not have pushed so hard based on my lack of sleep? So I thought, so I don't know. I know there's a balance there. I agree. I would never not move, right, just because I didn't sleep. Because you gotta do something to keep the blood flowing. I understand that, but it's a question of figuring out how to dial it down a little bit, so I don't get that scariness. And I don't know how to do that on days that I really am exhausted and I'm trying to do these ladder workouts. I'm going to do the workout. I'm going to try to do it. I can't, it's very hard for me to cut it back and do it 70%. I don't know if I can do that.
Well,
I'm either doing it or I'm not.
Well, no, so there is the in between, because when you don't have sleep and you have to get the workout in, or you want to get the workout in, you just have to be like, hey man, I'm a little bit exhausted right now, but tired. I got to get this in. So I'm just going to do what I can do. For this workout, I'm doing what I can do. I don't want to overexert myself where I'm going to put myself in a position where I'm going to injure myself, or I'm going to be more stressed. I just got to get it done. This happens quite a bit in this house, in fact, because of the way Angela works. When Angela never misses a workout, like that's not even that will never happen. So it's like, it's gotta, it may take her a little bit longer to get into the workout. She may have a little bit longer warm up, but she gets it done. Same with me. It's the same thing. It's just, but for me, it's more like, okay, I know that I'm tired, but my mindset is, I'm going to go as hard as I can for as long as I can. And then once I bonk, but I generally get it done. The help of, pre-workout also helps that, making sure I get that nutrition. And then right away saying, man, I got to get that sleep. I was like, I don't want to go through this again. Because that's generally what my mindset. I don't want to go through this again. So.
And it's amazing because the days I wake up, I use, I have an Aura ring that I actually find the app to be scary accurate as far as the amount of time in bed versus sleep. And I wake up and, I've now gotten into a mode where I know how much sleep I got before I even checked the app.
Good. That's great.
And
that's exactly
the days that I'm like over 6 hours of sleep, I feel like I can run 5 marathons.
Totally.
And it's so bizarre because I know how I feel when I open my eyes. I keep thinking if I can get one night of like 8 hours sleep, I wouldn't have to sleep for a month after that.
I hear you. Last night I got according to the Whoop, I got 4.42 hours of sleep last night. So my recovery right now is at 21%. Slow. HRV is low at this point. But knowing these things, do I need the Whoop to tell me that I have low recovery today? No, I know. I'm like you do. When, hey man, I don't need my Whoop to tell me that I'm 21% recovery. It's good to know this, but I don't need it because we're now self-aware of how our bodies are and how we feel like when we get good sleep and how we feel like when we get shitty sleep. So
what device are you using?
The Whoop. So Whoop strap. It gives you your HRV, your strain, your recovery, your sleep. Most apps now, like Apple Watch and I don't know what else are out there, they mostly give you all this information. I think your Aura Ring probably gives you your HRV too.
Everything.
There you go.
It's fascinating product, actually. I'm
the most important thing you need to think about as we go the Fitbit, thank you, John, is the HRV, your heart rate variability. That's your most important thing. Because if that goes down 2 or 3 days in a row, then you got to stop and figure out what's going on in your life that's causing your heart rate variability to go out.
My HRV has definitely been on a downward trajectory for sure. It's going the wrong way.
Yeah. So, but yeah, those are the answers. Good to see you though. Looking good.
All right, thanks, man.
Looking good, man. Okay, this is great. Okay. Joe, okay, man. What you doing, buddy? I can't hear you. We can't hear you.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. Quick question. First, I want to thank you. Your program, I keep saying the same slogan. Your program is the best thing I ever did for myself.
Follow me, buddy. I love it. I love you. Love you, Joe. Thank you.
So now that your supplement company has basically just making it to test 3D Max and everything else is gone, and this probably isn't a question you have to answer today, but maybe if you guys could give me, with all the brain, a suggestion as to what supplements you're doing that we can get to kind of replace what I was getting with your supplements company. Because I trusted you put your name on it. I trusted that this is good. And, some companies, the quality may be good. Some companies, the quality may not be so good. So even if you could just make some recommendation, I think it would help me and a lot of the brothers.
100%. So to let you guys know, for the protein and the greens, you're going to tell me if not this week, next week. I mentioned this is just for the protein and green, mostly the protein. That's the biggest thing. So basically, as you guys know, a lot of my supplements are custom, like I create them, and the protein specifically. And when I decided to stop selling the protein, I did have a lot of other supplement companies come to me and ask me if they could use that protein. Because it is definitely the best in the market, not even a question. So I have now found a company that I trust that is going to actually recreate a protein. In fact, they also have some stock left over. There's a supplement company that's just getting into more strength and conditioning, MMA supplements for fighters and jujitsu and all that stuff. But that protein specific, the Lean Pro, is going to be the exact same protein, just a different label. So I will. You guys will get an email, and I'll tell you right now, when you get the email and you have a chance to buy it, get it. It's going to be discounted. And I trust this I will have a silent stock in this company, but I'm not part of the company, if that makes sense. Like, don't come to me if you don't get yourself. That's all. It's right. But it's someone who I trust. It's a company that I trust, and I trust them for those two and the greens as well. But I will do that for you guys because there's more and more people. I'll let you know what supplements and then what other company that I kind of trust in regards to that. I'm like, okay, here's where I would probably get this. Here's where I would get this. Here's where I get this for sure. I'll do that. I'll do that while I'm at the cottage. I'll shoot a video, maybe even have a live or something, and we'll figure it out together. I'm not leaving you guys high and dry. The reason why I haven't really said much about this is because I wanted to make sure this connection was finalized. Everything was done, contracts, everything, making sure that the transition, and then go. I'm not going to leave you guys high and dry. But yeah, great question. And yes, I will do that 100%. But the protein powder that's coming is going to be exactly Lean Pro. It's the person who I created Lean Pro with, basically.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So it's good. I'll hold you guys up. No worries.
Thanks, Funk.
No problem. Thank Joe for everything too. Willie J. No, let me just get you. There he is.
Wait, dude.
Hold on. Let me just see this for a second. Wow. You and Donnell are just killing it. What is going on here? Why am I even doing this? Really? I'm a great ass man. It's like, why am I even here? Anyways, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great.
Hey, just spun on today's cooking call, just reconfirm some stuff. And, it's just what I take and say again in this program is that the knowledge that you give us, and then it helps you to evaluate other things that you hear out in the marketplace, and it validates that, now you don't have to guess, okay, yep, that's spot on. That's what I learned in the brotherhood, and that's right. And, and then it's like, okay, I can implement that, because it's spot on with what the training that you have given us. So I just want to say, Jay, once again, it's spot on. And the other thing is that when you ended the every Sunday calls, that's back in April. And then May, I was on vacation in May, was traveling all over the place. So I was out of pocket. But I just wanted to tell you, in an open setting, that what we did during the pandemic, I'm telling you, those every Sunday calls was, it was life changing. It was good for mental stability. Because it was like, hey, we ain't had nowhere to go. Those days, and like we don't get off the call and go downtown. So, but I just want to say, I just really, really from the bottom of my heart, I was reflecting on that, and like I said, I wasn't able to get on the call last month because I was out, but I didn't want another call to go by without just saying that.
Thank you.
Because it's a lot that you brought to the plate. Every Sunday. I mean, it's like you was the pastor of the church. It's true.
that passed with the brotherhood, and that means that you have to bring content every Sunday to feed the brothers. As though I definitely understand that now. I just want to say to you from the bottom of my heart is that I truly, truly appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
And what you did for us.
I appreciate you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that one. Thanks. That's incredible. I just want to let you, thank you very much. A couple of things. This article and this magazine was about inspiration, digging for inspiration. And in this article, I wrote what inspires you. And then in this book, Mission Driven, what is the same type of thing? Like, what keeps you on your mission? Like the chapter, I'll probably send out like a PDF of the chapter. And my conversations with other fitness professionals, other people who teach, how to create memberships and create stuff. And the same thing, I say the same thing over and over again, is that you guys, what you did and what you're doing. First of all, what you did, during the pandemic, how all of you guys completely transformed your health, your body, you stayed consistent, throughout the toughest time we've ever had in the history of ever. And that in its own, for me, it's incredible. Like the fact that you guys did that, it's insane. Like it really is. And when I talk to other people, when they talk about when they talk about the thing that Funk's doing over there with the guys in this community and all of these men who are, connecting with each other, because it's a community thing that really inspires a lot of people. Plus, obviously, the results you guys get. I always tell them, man, you guys are the driving force behind everything. You are the ones who are putting in the work, like day in and day out. It's easy to do things once in a while, but doing things over and over again and helping each other doing it and keeping each other accountable. It's insane. Like whenever I tell this story, it blows people away. And it's not me, because I'm just giving you guys something, but you have to do the work. You have to put in the work. You have to, show up. You have to help each other and be supportive. And that's, man, this is like, you guys, it's incredible. Like, I'm going to do a TED Talk about this. I'm going to do a TED Talk about the brotherhood, because I've been approached to do a talk about certain things, men over 40, blah, blah, blah. But the brotherhood, man, I'm telling you, it's incredible. And what you guys are doing with your health, and it's incredible. So I do appreciate that 100%. Also, well, do you appreciate that? I am creating a certification course. If you think about this, just think about this for a second. I'll leave you with this. On this entire planet, in any setting, anywhere, there is no certification course that a trainer, a coach, a health professional, fit pro, anybody can learn how to train men over 40, can learn the workouts, the programming, the physiological changes, nothing, zero. There's women over 40, there's menopause, there's seniors, there's youth, there's people who are body positive. There's all of these. So there's an insanely amount of different certifications for all these niches, and men in their 40s, 50s, 60s, nothing. So when I see other fitness guys in the industry, so and so now is doing men over 40, I love it, because they're trying to help the guys who need it the most. Because our 40s, 50s, 60s, just that age group is in the most compromised health right now out of all of the groups. We are in the most common. We have the highest amount of health issues, and our mortality rate is going down. Our testosterone is going down. It's incredible. Roberto, I'm not talking about the metabolic conditioning course. I'm talking about the new course. This is a different course that's specifically for men over 40. So there is no course like that until now. That's what I'm creating right now. I'm creating, just in the midst of creating a live cohort. It's going to be an 8-week cohort that is teaching trainers, coaches, everyone how to train men over 40, specific workouts to do, what not to do, because more and more trainers are asking for that. Sorry, what I was saying was, when I see all these other guys in the industry, the only thing, and they're like, oh, so-and-so is now doing men over 40, or so-and-so is now men over 40, or so, you know what I mean? It's because they're turning 40, but they're still training and giving you the same thing that they were doing before. And that's generally what it is. They're just giving you the same thing, but because they're 40, they're just going to do 40. Of course, they're going to give you little things, but there's no like, they haven't got through a certification. Like, I just finished my hormone and testosterone specialization certificate. Went to do a very comprehensive course to learn to really and truly, dial in on hormone and testosterone, and testosterone from it. Anyway, so the point I'm trying to make is, I am next week be launching the sign up for teaching trainers, coaches, anyone who wants to do this. Not only how to train men over 40, not only the programming behind it, how to a business behind it, and also they're going to be training with some new workouts throughout the 8-week course. It's an 8-week live course because it's the first of its kind. So I'm doing it live. I'm doing it weekly. Every week there's a new module. There'll be self-driven module plus a live. So like this, where, I'm teaching something, more programming that trainers and coaches can take with them. So yeah, this is, and a lot of other like organizations and accreditations, gyms. Like, I had a big gym in Canada approach me. It's like, hey man, like, we want you to be part of they have some type of a thing that they have where they tell their trainers to take courses that for their gym. I don't want to release the information yet, but I'm getting a lot of people that are flocking to this thing because we had nothing. And the fact that we had nothing is insane. Like, man, it's crazy. So, if you are interested in becoming a coach or a trainer, or you are a coach or a trainer, this would be a good certification to take. Going to be inexpensive. I hope, because it's the first time. But the reason why I was telling you that is it's the fact that we're still getting, testosterone. They're trying to keep us down, man. That's what they're trying to say, without getting too they're trying to keep us, they're trying to feminize us. Okay? Let's put that. You just have to do things that help us become who we need to be so that we can be that for our family. That's all. Anyways, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Someone asked me about Metabolic Muscle 365, what the difference is. The difference is, it's just different workouts, more focusing on building lean muscle while burning fat. It's an incredible 12-month program. You could do that. You can buy it now at the how much it costs now, super cheap, and use it whenever the frick you want. Because remember, this is a lifetime of training you have. You're not just doing something and then stopping. You're doing it for the rest of your life. So that's it. Is there anything else? Yeah, IMAF definitely works. Nathan, yes. So I'm just trying to folks, yes. How do you recommend kids? Oh, Josh, you still here? Damn it, Josh. Okay, Josh is still here. I just want to answer Josh's question. How do you recommend scheduling your phase workouts for BJJ players that train 2-3 times a week? So again, you guys can leave if you need to, because I'm just going to answer this question for Josh, but this also goes for anybody else who plays a sport, or, you know what I mean? So if you're a jiu-jitsu player, a jiu-jitsu practitioner, BJJ comes first, no doubt, because that's the technical side of it. You're also going to get conditioning. So if you're training jiu-jitsu 2 times a week, then you're going to work out 2 times a week. Use those workouts as your strength and conditioning to help you BJJ. Use the recovery routines, yoga, mobility to help you recover so that you don't get injured, so that you're more explosive, so that you're stronger for jujitsu. You're not getting 4 workouts in because jujitsu is the most important thing for you. That's what's most important. So you just want to train around it. But the most important thing is going to be your nutrition, because your nutrition is going to be key. So after every BJJ class, make sure that when you get home, you're having 2 to 1 carbs to protein in your meals, having more carbs. And I'm being extremely serious about this because I used to train strength and conditioning, world class BJJ practitioners and MMA fighters. And after they train, they would always say the same thing to me: Funk, the next day after training, the next day after I do jujitsu and then I train, I'm so tired, or I don't have this, or I don't have that, and I can't do this. I'm like, are you eating after your training? Because usually it's at nighttime. The answer is always no, I just go home and have a protein shake. Once they start eating, not only do they feel better and energized, but they're replenishing their glycogen. So they're just recovering way better. And so make sure that is so important. Before jujitsu, have a pear, because a pear is a very good low digest. It's slow digesting carb. So it's going to give you energy for your jujitsu. If you like go from work to BJJ and you don't want to eat right before because you're rolling for 2 hours or an hour, a lot of your nutrition has to gear around your training. But yeah, if those 2 things, if I can give you those 2 tips, make sure you eat no matter how late it is. Make sure it's carbs, fat, protein, vegetables, or fruits or whatever. Try to eat real food. If it's really, really late, then yes, definitely have a shake. Put a lot of like steel cut oats in there, uncooked, and maybe a little bit extra because you need that. It's not going to affect your sleep, specifically after training. And before you train, a half hour, 45 minutes, the pear does wonders. Angela used to do that before Muay Thai for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, have a pear. And it's digesting food. Actually got that from my body. So anyways, hopefully that helps. Hey, Josh, and anyone else who's training or playing sports. That's the same with any sport. Same with any sport that you're doing. Okay, good. That's great. All right, guys. Have a great day. You guys are awesome. Enjoy. Stay alpha. Have an alpha day, and we'll see you in the next. See you guys on Facebook. And make sure you do that freaking your abs today too. No matter what, get those abs done. Peace.
Recording stopped.